Today we are going to be talking about channeling the energy of the copperhead snake. So we all channel. This is energy that we vibe with and resonate with, and the frequency that we resonate with. This can be with animals, anything with nature, with music and sound, with numbers, with colors, with certain elements. So we can be channeling, certain frequencies of things that we are trying to attract. Also, when we are trying to manifest or create a life we want as well. But typically, this is in essence, which is why I did or do call these sessions spirit anima. Anima is the unconscious and the unseen, and more so what I consider the essence of an energy that we are holding within. So we can use these energies to tap into if we are trying to overcome a situation, or the copperhead snake I chose today because I had recently just dyed my hair a copper red, which turned out amazing. And this is an energy that you will really want to, channel in or connect to if you are looking to overcome a situation and to stand in your power. This is very much a transformational energy and healing as well. So if you are looking to heal trauma, or if you are in a phase of, a death and rebirth and walking into a new part of you, or a new season in life, or a new energy, this is also very fire and sexuality and a very transformational energy. So a lot of this actually will be about more so the snake essence in general, but I did choose the copperhead snake because this is what I was vibing with, and also because of copper in itself. So I will talk a little bit about both of those, but if you are seeking change or confidence, this is a really good energy to tap into, along with looking to tap into the spiritual world or the unseen as well. So the copperhead snake is and snakes in general are very much known for tapping into the spiritual world, the astral realm. The Native Americans also considered the snake energy to tap into the spirit world as well. So snakes do have a fairly bad rap. There are snaky people, and of course there is negative energy to this, to a snake as well, which I will get a little bit into, but typically snakes are actually pretty gentle, and a copperhead snake prefers to avoid humans for the most part. They won't really seek out, not even so much prey to attack, but they definitely don't care to attack humans or anything that doesn't really threaten them. So this is one of the reasons I definitely can connect with a copperhead snake. So as far as spirit animals, and I call all of them, whether mammal, animal, whichever it is, I refer to them all as animals. So just to put that out there, but we will have, certain spirit animals that, are kind of our mainstays throughout our life. But sometimes these energies are something we just need to tap into for a period of time, or that we are attracting or, resonating with. So a copperhead snake is something that I feel is one of my mainstays, or the snake energy in general, I guess, but it's not my number one, but it is definitely there because this is really, really big for phoenix energy and transformation. This is something that it has been a huge part of my life as I have gone through many of many of those and many awakenings. I have a ton of Scorpio in my chart, and my chart is also ruled by Pluto, which is very transformational energy as well. So, sometimes we go through this for just a small period of time. Sometimes overall it's a long period of time. But the copperhead snake, they do not like to attack unless they are being threatened. And one of my favorite things about them as well is that they are venomous. It is a pit viper, but they choose whether or not to release venom and how much. So, typically, this snake doesn't really want to bother anybody. It can stay by waters and streams at times, but typically it kind of minds its own business, unless, of course, it is threatened. And then once it has been threatened, depending on, of course, what it is or the situation, it will also give a warning. And this is something, I don't know if you have ever had any type of confrontations or issues in your life where you have had to do that, but I really, really resonate with this because I have, where, things have came up and I will give a warning to, put it out there. Hey, you're crossing, you're crossing where you shouldn't be right now, and, approaching, potential danger. So that is another thing about the copperhead snake. So, another thing is that snakes in general, this is an energy you want to tap into if you are looking to overcome fear of any kind. Snakes are to be feared. Snakes do not fear. So if this is something that you may be dealing with, whether it is getting out of a situation or letting go of something of the past, anything that is trying to instill fear into you or make you have doubts by any means, this is also an energy you will tap into, right? Snakes never do fear others, but many people fear snakes. So the other way to look at this is if, another thing about fear and power is that if somebody or people are trying to put you down or attack or, not want, people that don't want you to see your potential, any single person who is in their power, if anybody who is truly in their power will never, ever, ever try to demean or take some, power from somebody else or put them down. And that is something that goes along with women as well. A woman who is in her power does not care to, nor would she ever put down another woman. And with, a little bit more of the masculine energy of power is, competitiveness. And, I think it is in men's nature to be competitive as well. But, when it becomes not so well, we need to be our own competition type of thing as well. It is nice when we see other people doing well. We don't want to bring them down, but that shows us that, if that person can do it, I can do it. If somebody has something that we want that we haven't quite attained yet, right? So when we are looking to gain our power, the power is within. True confidence is within. You cannot fake it. I mean, you can try to, but you can't. It's something that is held deep within. And anybody who is truly confident or anybody who is truly in their power is never trying to steal other people's power or bring them down or take them out of their power. They don't need to have somebody else be out of their power in order for them to be in theirs, right? So if power struggle or control or any type of those energies are an issue on either end of it, whether you are the one being attacked of it or not feeling enough, the snake energy and the copperhead snake energy is something that you will really want to channel and work with because, the snake energy does hold all the power. So, there are the not so good sides of the snake energy, and this is something that you will want to be cautious of as well. So The snake energy, if we are seeing it, or keep getting messages of snake energy, or in dreams even, sometimes these are warnings as well. So this can signify that you are going through a change or a transformation, or one is approaching, or, a lot of times that's what it is. It can be only a message for that. Sometimes it is, however, a message that snake energy is near, or something that you need to release. So the not so good snake energy that you will want to be aware of, or if it is a warning of, whether it is for yourself or about someone else that's in your world or going to enter your world, is envy or jealousy or possessiveness or stubbornness. You know, and I wanted to say also another thing about fear really quick too, is that snakes can detect fear like no other. And if I remember, I believe that snake handlers actually have to learn, right, to control their, like their hormones and, other chemicals in their body from reacting when they are going to, catch or handle a snake, because snakes can sense fear like nothing else. So sometimes snakes attack because they can sense fear. But if you are tapped into your snake energy, not to attack somebody else, but you can sense it in others, and people attack people when they have fear within them. So if somebody does feel that you are more powerful than them, that you have more potential than them, or that there's something that they know that you hold that they either want or don't have, or can do something, or whatever it may be, many people will attack from that fear within them as well. So typically when people are in their power, they do get a lot more attacks against them as well. So this energy can signify, like I said, a warning of somebody else in your presence or going to be in your presence or your energy. But it also can be, a reminder that, for you to be in your own power, and that you're not holding the not so good snake qualities, against somebody else, and that you are holding your own power. So, I really liked it in the Jungle Book. That is one of my favorite movies on this planet. It is the newer Jungle Book, which it is quite a few years old now, but it is the more, human form one. There's something else called something like it. It's not that one. It's called the Jungle Book. But the way that the creators, really put the animals, they really displayed them in the sense that how they actually play their part in the world and in the jungle. And one of my favorite, parts also is that, Ka is, I believe it's an anaconda, and keep in mind that I am hardly by any means a snake expert whatsoever. This is going to be more so the essence and energies that I, am talking about and tapping into. But, Ka, and I don't even think that's how you say it, but that is the anaconda snake, who I believe is voiced by Charlize Theron in this movie. And so when Mowgli, the child, is going through his transformation, his awakening, he's waking up to the idea and the fact that he is actually not born of the jungle, and he's being woken up to his truth and who and what he really is, which he is a human. And they actually show him humans and that are nearby somewhere in this area, and they have fire and they can burn down the jungle, and how they're actually considered a threat. And he's obviously very, startled, or what's the word, but he's not happy at all, right, about coming to this. So realization, well, Ka, the anaconda, her part, so, you want to think of course, Mother Kundalini as well. And she comes to him and tells him and gives him a vision, which this energy is also very third eye energy. So this is highly spiritual energy as well. So if this is something that you were trying to tap into, and the third eye, but she gives him, you know, a vision as well and tells him some things. So he's not really happy about any of it, but it is definitely for his better, you know? So that is another, I think there was more I was going to say to that, but that is another favorite part of the, you know, it's a very, you know, spiritually advanced, highly intelligent, all-knowing type of energy, but also Mother Kundalini. This is also goddess energy. But I did want to say too, Ka in, you know, I took an art in ancient Egypt class. I was really fortunate to catch it this one semester. There was 2 that were allowed to teach this, I think, in the world. And I somehow, you know, magically happened to transfer to this random school just for this semester only, and this class was offered, and I got into it, which was really cool. And we discussed a lot about, you know, ancient Egypt and such. And if I remember, Ka was also a sign of transformation, etc. But there's a lot to it. I probably will make a video on that alone, but also of the shadow energy. Some people considered it the shadow self, but also as somewhat of a third entity, which something else I have came upon and read recently has also made me realize, or I was told that not everybody holds that either. So, or as well. So that is something I'll probably make another video about as well. But so it's really cool how the Jungle Book, you know, puts this, you know, there. So this is, you know, him coming into his awakening. That was another good way that has been, you know, shown. But so the other energies that this energy is good to tap into for is if you are looking to tap into your creativity, and you know, copper and red is really the theme of this copperhead snake and the element as well. But the root chakra is your groundedness and stability, but your sacral chakra, that is the color orange, and that is your, you know, fluidity. So this is very, very much fire energy, and this is like Phoenix burning down the ashes to the ground. So if we are going through a transformation or trying to step into new energy, everything that we are holding on to in that point of existence has to burn all the way down to the ground. We cannot still hold on to things that are not, it all has to burn away. So anything that is meant to leave our life for that period of time has served its purpose. And we have to step in our power enough and be enough in our power to know that and to accept that. Because if every single aspect of that has not burned all the way down to the ground, and if we're still holding on to one wing, and one wing of us didn't burn off, and we carry that wing, we're not fully renewed. We're still holding on to that old energy, right? So that is why with transformation, there is a lot of death, and death is not quite literal typically, but with every death there is a rebirth. So if you are looking to start in a new energy or a new line of work or a new anything that you're starting new, this is also fertility, and like I said, like the sacral chakra and creativity, you can you know, tap into this energy if you're looking to start something new, but the old has to die away fully in order for that to happen. And if you are familiar with the death and rebirth transformation as it is on life as a whole, with every death there is always a rebirth. That's the point of something new. That is fertility. So along with transformation is transmutation as well. So in Tantra, this is very tantric energy, if this is something as well that you're trying to tap into. And with the sacral chakra, this is where we hold a lot of energy and our most powerful energy. This is our life force energy. So This is where a lot of energy transmutation happens. This is where emotions are held. So, and this is in the sacral chakra. So, anything that we're holding on to from the past, emotions, etc., doesn't exist anymore. And that is why we have to let them completely die out. Sometimes that seems scary, but when you know the process of death and rebirth, you know that it's not, because what is meant to come in cannot come in until that has been let go of. But to push energies or old emotions or any of that down and not transmute it properly or well, or, then transmutation is simply changing perception and changing your perspective on what's happening or why it's happened, or on the person or on the situation. It is a change of perception. If you do not change your perception, you cannot possibly transmute that energy, because energy never dies. It never goes away. This is, the laws of physics and everything else. The laws of nature is that nothing dies. Energy can only be, transformed, or it can stay, but it doesn't really go away. So the way to transmute energy to go from the old into the new is to first change the perception in order to shift that energy, in order to shift the mindset as well. So this is really big transformation energy as well. So another thing, speaking of sexual energy, that is I found pretty funny, is that the snakes actually have, in somewhat recent years, or the scientists have found that they have a magic button, the females. So they do have a clitoris. So apparently this was really difficult for them to find since always. And, not so ironically there, that this has always been a thing. And another thing is that they are heart-shaped also. So that's kind of cute and stuff. But apparently they do have that, which goes to show that the big O that we have, so the ORGASAMs, you know what I mean? ASMs. Those are really big for as far as transformation and death and rebirth and creation in life in general. So there is no surprise to me that the women snakes have those as well. So I guess that they thought that they were an undeveloped male part or a sense gland or something else. They didn't know that's what it was. So not really surprised, but that was also some, really cool information. But one of my other favorite things about, I guess the snake energy in general, or snakes in general, and the copperhead snake is, this is also something you will want to tap into if you are looking to get into your clairaudience or any of your tapping into the spiritual world. So the snakes can actually hear, but they don't have external ears. So snakes hear through vibration. So I guess the vibration gets picked up and sensed in their jaws, and that is how they hear noise. So I think they have internal ears, but not external ears. And this is really cool to me because I know that many years ago, when my clairaudience started kicking in, it kicked in really hot and fast. And, I would be at work and I would suddenly hear people talking about me from across an entire huge long building. And it would confirm it. I would look up and they would look over at me too, like it was, understood that I knew. And it's not that the things that were being said were ever, really horrible or anything by any means, but I could hear that it was happening or taking place. So, like I said, it wasn't typically derogatory or anything about me, just about maybe my part there, whatever was going on. So, but it was funny how when it did kick in, and other times I started noticing was when I would be looking at the person, but their mouth wasn't moving. And I would, so I would start, it picked up really fast for me. So if this is an energy that you are starting to pick up on or wanting to hear from the spirit world, this is also energy that you can tap into. So everybody hears and can sense energy, but some are way more tapped into it than others. So I will talk about moving that energy through as well. So channeling in general, everybody can channel and does channel, but when we are having blockages, it is because we have energetic blockages. And food and diet alone can do that. But I will get back to that in a little bit. But overall, clairaudience as well, or tapping into the spirit world and having clear energy can really help that, but tuning into this energy as well. So a lot of people can feel energy. Some just do not realize it so much, but other things about hearing and seeing. This also goes along with your third eye as well. That's another great way to tap into your energy, is having that clean and open as well. So, I think that's going to be it for the snake part, but copper is also a really good conductor of energy. So when how a snake is grounding, and they quite literally slither on the ground, copper is also used for grounding, and this is for electricity as well. So if somebody was struck by lightning, you can ground them with copper, or copper is used for grounding in case of for electricity and in cases like that. But copper is also highly conductive as well. So copper can also move energy and electricity through it as well. So it's a transitional metal as well. So I would say it is also good for manifestation. So copper can also do a lot of stuff in clearing, with a pendulum and a lot of other things that I will do a video on this alone. But to cover a few things, copper is actually pretty incredible as well. And copper also is what was the element that changed everything from the Stone Age into the Bronze Age. Everything was made from stone, and they weren't able to use electricity or certain types of energies like that until they had introduced copper, and that is what made that shift during those Neolithic and Mesopotamian type ages. That is what shifted that from one age to the next, was copper. So it is a great conductor, and it is also very malleable and flexible. So this is also a good energy to hold and have. And this goes along with the fluidity and the water and that part of the sacral chakra. So fire and water, in a good balance of those. And copper also does represent balance and harmony. So copper can be worn externally, and it is said to help with the blood, which is the circulatory system, and the heart, and arthritis, and internally as well, that it is also anti-aging. So I did do a video on supplements to take that can help through the body that most people do not realize that they are even the majority of people are deficient in and do not realize it. But also I listed a few anti-aging supplements on there as well, and copper is one of them, and copper and zinc go really well hand in hand. So you don't want to overdo copper ever. Too much copper can have a not so good effect, but it is something that does help with that. So another cool thing about copper and the blood is that so how humans how iron makes humans blood red, it works the same way in certain other, I think octopus and mollusks and some other type of animals. There are different animals with different colors blood, but that is what makes the blood blue. The copper in that blood is what makes it blue, just like iron makes ours. And I think it transports like oxygen or hemoglobin or something. I don't remember off the top of my head right now, but that is what it does for those. So it is good for us to have some copper in our blood, but some of us more than others as well. And this also goes along with the Rh factor in blood, which I'm not going to get deep into that in this video, but copper in general, in small amounts is good to put externally on the skin with copper peptides, but you don't want to overdo anything with copper on that either. But in small amounts, it's good to ingest or to use externally on the skin, or if you are looking to clear energy, as well as copper, mugs or pitchers, if you have heard of those, if about putting water or whatever drinks in them, it kind of infuses the drink with copper, but I believe that it is like antimicrobial or antibacterial or something as well. There's quite a few things that copper does, drinking from that as well too. So copper is pretty healing and transformational, and we'll say it transmits or, energy as well. So, when copper oxidizes, it turns that blue color. So I had read that the Statue of Liberty was copper at first, but once it had oxidized is what turned the Statue of Liberty blue. So, if you are looking to clear energy and to, open your energetic pathways and, heal and do this to tap more into your, power or into the astral realm or the spiritual realm, or, any of the things that have been discussed in this video, you can drink from copper. You can use copper as, an ornament or an accessory, or dancing. So the best way to move energy in your body and to transmute energy and to do a lot of things with your overall body to step into your power, and especially for healing, is to dance. Now, when you dance and listen to music, you can do whatever you want. If that means go, twerk or whatever type of dancing feels good, do that for sure. But it is also beneficial to, if you want to follow something that teaches you how to dance, that's fine. But you really want to listen to music that you really, really resonate with. Personally, I'm not big. I don't listen to music with words really ever, but for healing, especially to tap into your own energy, I recommend listening to some type of music, maybe that doesn't have words, so that you really feel. So even if it makes you feel happy and, but you want to move your body the way your body wants to move. You want to freestyle dance. You want to really feel it out. And if it makes you happy, if it makes you cry, if it makes you do anything you have to do, typically if you do cry or get emotional during anything like that, it's because it is releasing those emotions, and let it happen and embrace it. Like, I appreciate that. I'm so happy and grateful. This is leaving my body, and now this and that. And you start transmuting that energy into what you want it to be now and how you want to feel now, and change your perception on it, because dancing is one of the best ways to move energy in your body and stagnant energy in through the sacral chakra and the lower body especially. So just movement in general, but of course exercise. So even just a little bit, but I mean, even if it's 10 minutes a day, it doesn't matter if it's jumping jacks or just, moving that energy, moving your body really does help move the energy and the blood flow, and then increases oxygen. So oxygen and breath work is another great way to step into your power, and you breathe into your solar plexus area especially, but breath work, increase of oxygen between exercise or breath work is highly beneficial in advancing on a physical level, on a spiritual level, and a mental level as well. So I definitely recommend doing all those, but the root chakra and the sacral chakra are going to be the two energies you really want to tap into for healing, for letting go of the past, for stepping into your power. So red and the root chakra is all about stability, balance, being grounded, being present, being focused, which also goes into confidence. And then when you can control your emotions, which is in your sacral chakra, and your sexuality and your sexual power, and that's being used properly and releasing the old stuff that doesn't belong, and your creativity, that will really boost that as well. So if you have a creative block, or you're trying to start something new, or you're not being able to quite tap into what you want for yourself, or what you're supposed to do, or the next move you're supposed to make, these are the energies that you will want to focus on. So diet, I can never say enough about the food that we eat. The energy of how the food processes in our body and the energy of the food is how it processes. So if we are eating stagnant processed food, it is going to create stagnant blockages in our body. It is not only more so than it is the nutrients of the food, it is how the body processes it. I cannot possibly express that enough. So things like bread or dead, tortured, hormonal things are going to process in our body like that and create blockages. So anybody who has been able to consecutively, or what's the word I'm looking for a long period of time, improved their eating to higher vibrational food, the better one feels, the more confidence they have, the more energy that they have. So higher vibrational food, of course, is going to be, the closer it came from the earth. So fruits and vegetables, etc., the less processed, or hormone filled or any of that, the better one's going to feel. So this is also really good for tapping into your inner vision, because a not good diet creates blockages and issues and imbalances with your third eye as well. So that will cause a lot of problems. If you are looking to open up your vision, your abilities, any of that, a clean diet and moving the energy in the body is going to be the best thing that anybody can do. That helps with focus, that helps with everything. Discipline is really the biggest thing that takes people out of their power. So anything we don't have control over has control over us, right? So just like how people don't talk bad about people unless they are not in their power, people do not try to take power from other people unless they're that power. Some people live off other people's power fueling them, and it can be from a reaction, from emotions, from money, however else somebody is trying to gain power by taking it from somebody else. Anybody who is in their power knows that they have the choice whether or not to give that power to something or someone else. So if we are lacking discipline, we're lacking power. That means that this addiction has power over us, or this person, or this money, or this situation, or this substance, or this food. Anything that we're not disciplined in has power over us. So the only way to step into your power, that nothing has power over you, is to stop giving your power away to those things. That is the only way to take your power back, is to not give it away. Nobody can take your power from you unless you give it to them. And the same goes with people trying to take it from you by either saying something negative, or attacking, or keeping you stuck somewhere. That is because they're trying to grasp at your power. So you have to create even more power to get past that. Right? So nobody can take your power, and no substance or no anything else can take your power that you're not giving it to. So it's up to you whether or not, where you want to give your power. So a good way to tap into discipline is by grounding, is by root chakra, meditations and also sacral chakra meditations. So the majority of the planet, I don't really know anybody who doesn't need to meditate on both of these, as it helps clear out a lot of old energy. And that is the way to get rid of lack and fear and old trauma. Anything, and all of those are held in those lower two centers that I'm talking about here. And these are your most powerful centers. So these are really the energies you want to tap into. So, I did recently dye my hair after years and years and years of dyeing it dark over and over and over. I didn't want to damage it by going any lighter. And I finally just threw the bleach on my head and did a bleach wash and dyed it a copper red, and that alone in itself feels so much more powerful. It is the best feeling ever. If you are considering dyeing your hair or you're not, do it anyways, because that copper red color, I'm telling you, is pretty awesome in itself. So keep in mind that, just like, why I chose copper head snake is that colors hold an energy and vibration as well. So surrounding yourself with these colors, even if it's for a period of time, or focusing on them, or buy a shirt and wear it for your 2-week period that you're focusing on this. So the idea is to really focus on it. It's very much about being fluid and going with the flow, but it is also about doing what you need to do to get things done. So this is about stepping into that power as well. So focusing on these things for a period of time will do really well. So you can call in the snake energy, the copperhead snake energy, and meditate on that. You can do root chakra meditations, sacral chakra meditations, and I plan on making a meditation as well for this energy. So that movement, and also the other thing I want to say is to work on your posture. Your posture and how you carry yourself is a really big part of the power that you hold and the power you display. And so although you can't fake confidence, you can trick yourself into train yourself to start feeling this way. So if you are somebody that doesn't have good posture, the way that you carry yourself says a lot. So if you have to fake that till you make that part, I would definitely recommend doing that. And the last recommendation that I have is mirror work. So if you have been attracted to this video, or already attracting this energy, or wanting to call in this energy, you may or may not already be familiar with mirror work, but talking to yourself in the mirror, meditation, dancing, all of the above. Listen to music that makes you feel whatever it is you want to feel, but that is how you will transmute energy and change your perception on it. So I think that is going to be it for today on the copperhead snake, and let me know if you did like this video, and I will catch you guys later.